Hi guys, welcome to Brannock's Reviews. Today I'm going to be very quickly doing an update to a video I did, I think it was last week or the week before, where I was talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the home video releases of these. I'm talking about the physical copies of these. Now I'm going to be talking about the Blu-ray releases that are coming out and also the 4K releases. There are also 3D releases, but I don't collect those. I understand people are into that, that's fine. I personally don't, so I'm not really going to get into that on here. But I'm sure there's information can be found elsewhere, to be honest. So basically some information has come out today. And there was also some information that came out a couple of weeks ago about another Blu-ray set, specifically regarding the Marvel Cinematic Universe and some of the back catalogue of films that are going to be getting re-released. But let's have a quick look at that anyway. So very quickly, just want to mention this Infinity Saga box set that's getting released sometime later in the year. I think it will be around about the time Avengers Endgame gets a release. Now this is a standard Blu-ray, so as far as I'm aware there's no 4K box set in the same vein as this due for release. Now apparently it's phases 1 to 3 completely, but it doesn't have Spider-Man Far From Home, so I'm a bit confused because I thought that had recently been moved to be part of phase 3, but whatever. What I want to talk about today is the announcement of this Man Trilogy Box Set on 4K Blu-ray. Quite interesting because there is a steelbook version of this that you can get imported for things from Germany, but this is getting a general release, well, in the UK anyway. I imagine there'll be an American version as well. August 12th, 2019, that's when Amazon have got this scheduled for release. I don't know if I'll be getting this straight away, to be honest, and I'll get onto the reasons why, but from the looks of this, it's got the same kind of art scheme as the recently released Captain America trilogy, where it's got the standard, individual cases within the larger box set. So I'll get into reasons why I think that's a good idea anyway. So as I covered a couple of weeks ago on this channel, this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As far as I'm concerned, the most definitive collection, if you're talking about 4K being the best format and also with the option of having Blu-ray where 4K isn't available. There are also 3D options, like I say. I personally don't collect those, but that's why I'm kind of disregarding that from this. But you know, if you're into that as well, that's totally cool. Now the Iron Man trilogy. One other thing I was just saying before, I do like it when box sets have individual titles that you can just kind of take out, because the thing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Iron Man 2 does not follow Iron Man 1. Iron Man 2 follows The Incredible Hulk, which follows Iron Man. So it's nice to be able to take the individual titles out and put them on your shelf like that. It does unfortunately mean that the outer casing, which can be quite nice sometimes, gets disregarded, like we see here, where I've got the empty case for this, which is a real shame because it's quite a nice thing. You can't really appreciate this, but the feel to the thing is actually very kind of glossy, and you can see it's made of different materials, for example there, compared to what it is there, and it just looks really nice. But like I say, if you want to have these in decent order, well, the correct order on your shelves, then it's nice to be able to take the individual titles out. Now that isn't possible with this imported version of the Iron Man trilogy, which to date has been the only way to watch these films on a 4K Blu-ray disc. So that's what I went for about a year ago. I think this cost me about £60, something like that as well, because it's quite rare. And obviously it's a steelbook as well. In fact, let's have a closer look at the steelbook. Now, I'm not a big fan of steelbooks because usually the artwork is, well, kind of boring and dull, where it's just a logo, and sometimes you get this kind of nasty thing that doesn't really, it just slides off so easily. It's really annoying, and the artwork on this thing is just that. It's very basic, as you tend to find with a lot of steelbooks. This is the slipcover, I guess. It's not even a proper slipcover because it doesn't go all the way around. It's kind of annoying, it just kind of flaps around on your shelf, said the actress to the bishop. But the steelbook opens like this. It's got some fairly nice artwork on the inside. Obviously there's more than just two discs. You've got one disc on top of the other there. And I think, is that the same on the other side? I think you do for that as well. Yeah, you've basically got 6 discs in this, so 3 on each side. There is some artwork underneath, but it's going to be a faff getting the discs off, so I'm not going to bother. But your standard Blu-ray discs, which are region coded, sadly, and this is an import, so they don't really work for me. Whereas the 4K Blu-ray discs definitely work. Hence, I went to buy this. But with the Iron Man trilogy getting a proper box set release, which is going to be similar to the Captain America one that came out quite recently, I'm assuming you're going to have the individual titles, so you can take them out of the box set and put them in the correct order on your shelf, which to me as a collector, I just appreciate that. It's just nice to see them sequentially. I think it goes beyond OCD. I think it's like anything else. If you've got a nice collection that you've put a lot of money into, you want to display it and organise it and curate it, I guess. This is really sad, but you know, you want to have it in such a way that pleases you, and obviously a lot of people spend a lot of time putting these collections together, and I'm one of those kind of people, so fair enough. But yeah, like I say, that's coming out shortly in August, basically. So I do already own these films on 4K, but I probably will get the Iron Man box set at some point and probably sell this, I don't know, because it would be nice to have each individual title on my shelf. Now, one thing I will say, with the 4K films in more recent times, the films that have been getting back catalogue releases, say for example the Captain America trilogy, I believe the original Blu-rays of those were one disc, and the one disc had the film and all the extra features on. So basically with 4K discs now, you get the 4K disc and which is the film in 4K, which is great, but no extra features on that disc. But you also get a supplemental disc, which is a standard 1080p Blu-ray with all the extra. Well, it's the same disc basically as what was previously released on Blu-ray. So you've got the film in 1080p along with all the extra features on the same disc, which was always the case. Now, one issue that we're going to have with the Iron Man trilogy, well, particularly the first two films, I think. In fact, let me just grab those. The issue that we're going to have with that, that's these original Blu-rays. If we're upgrading these and getting rid of these, the issue that we have is that with these, you got the Blu-ray with the film on it, no extra features. The extra features came on a second disc. They also came with a DVD, but forget this disc. They came with an extra features disc. So basically, when these films come out on Blu-ray, on 4K Blu-ray, it might not include all the extra features that came on disc 2. It might just include disc 1, which was the film and some extra features, and I think that was just like audio commentary. I don't know, based on the information I've seen, whether or not this Iron Man Trilogy box set is going to include all the extra stuff. Now, what is good about this is this isn't OCD for extra features. There were some damn good extra features on these. I remember sitting through hours of these, and it was quite interesting. Like video diaries from Jon Favreau when he was putting the first film together, which is quite historic, really, because that was the thing that kick-started the MCU. It was really good to see the director of the film really putting his back into this project, and really there was a sense of uncertainty as to whether this franchise or even just that first film were even going to take off, and there was a lot of money riding on the success of that film as well, because I think Marvel Studios took a loan out to be able to pay for it, and if that film hadn't have succeeded, Marvel would have been screwed. But it did succeed, obviously the first Iron Man did. So that's great, but again, it would be nice to have all that included in this 4K set, because if it does include everything that's on these, I'll be able to get rid of these, and it's just less stuff on my shelf, basically. But if they do omit the stuff that's on this, I'm going to have the Iron Man trilogy on that, and also these as well. I'm just kind of put these off to the side. And I might, to be honest, if they do omit those extra features, I might not even buy that set, and I might just stick to this. Because I watched this last year, and the quality is very good for all three films, so I'm absolutely happy with this. It's just obviously being a bit pedantic with these movies on my shelf. One thing I will say is on the downside of this, I think it's the second film in particular, doesn't have subtitles, doesn't have English subtitles for some of the bits in the film where the Russian characters are speaking in Russian. So unless you know what they're saying, which I, by the way, do, because not because I know Russian, but because I've seen the film plenty of times before I got this. That might be a bit of an issue for you, so I'll just warn you there. But the film does play, and it's got removable foreign subtitles, so you can watch it as you want to watch it. The first film does have all the subtitles for the bits where he's in Afghanistan and some of the terrorists are speaking, and the subtitles to translate what they're saying into English does appear on the first film. It's just the second film from memory. I think the third film was okay, but again, it's just something to mention anyway. So I hope that clears things up. Like I say, there is that Blu-ray set that's also coming out, but I'm kind of beyond Blu-ray at this point. I'm collecting things on 4K, but if you haven't quite got there yet, or if you're not planning on upgrading anytime soon and you want to buy this 22, or is it 23 film, well 22 films I think it is, box set with all the films up to Avengers Endgame including that. That is coming out later in the year, and it's called the Infinity Saga box set. Pretty much all the phases 1 to 3. Like I say, I thought that Spider-Man Far From Home is well, as far as I'm aware, it is the last film in Phase 3. Originally, it was going to be the first film of Phase 4, but I don't know about that anymore. So I'm going to have to look that up, really. I should probably research that before I do a video like this. Next time I talk about this, I hopefully will be a bit more confident about whether it's Phase 3 or 4, because at this moment in time I've heard mixed things. So I'll leave it there anyway. I've kind of rambled on a little bit. I hope this resonated with people out there, and I hope it was informative as well. So anybody that's considering upgrading any of these or pre-ordering any of the things that are coming out, like I say, I hope this has been of use to you. Thank you very much.